My name is Sally Green. I work at Quattro Display. Quattro Display started in 1994 by David Blizzard. We were on a different site at the time. We've now been at Runway Farm in Kenilworth for 12 years. This is the main workshop where the carpenters are. We have 9 carpenters, which you can see there's 9 different benches here. Every carpenter has his own bench, which means every carpenter has his own job and stand to build. It's a very large stand. We will maybe put 2 carpenters on it, and then when we go on to site to build the stands, we pull on the rest of the team and everybody helps each other. For a large stand you might need a crew of 6 to 8 people, and especially if you're working abroad, then you, again, depending on the side of the stand, you might need 6 to 8 people, decorators, electricians and carpenters.
My name is John Taylor. I live in a small village in Northamptonshire called Gayton. I've worked for Quattro about 18 years, I believe. Been presently shop foreman is my job title. Once I've been given a job from the office, I start setting it out if I got one, or I give it to another person regarding whichever jobs they are.
All the carpenters, I think majority of them have probably been here 10 to 20 years each.
How did I get into carpentry? At school, one of the subjects I was sort of keen on. When I left school, I was offered 2 jobs, exhibitions and funeral directors, making coffins. Yes, and I didn't fancy that at 15 years old, 16. No.
The main part in here is really the physical element, whereby, because we use the CNC a lot now, whereas other companies are still making things by hand. We do a portion of that. But because the technology has moved on, we've invested in a CNC machine. So the carpenters, the lads now, they've all got their own computer each, which is further up into their offices at the top of the workshop. Everything is done on AutoCAD and Flexi Design. You'll see more carpenters at Quattro Display walking around with a pen drive around their neck, necessarily with a saw in their hand, because all the files are sent to the CNC computer. Sheets of MDF are then laid onto the CNC and cut, and all these wonderful shapes come out, which then the skilled part for them is when they are putting things together.
If a job requires special panels to be made, as I'm doing at the present moment, we normally use white softwood, cut to lengths I need to make up a frame, knocked together using some air equipment. Then they get skinned with 4mm ply to strengthen them up and square them up. The panels can be painted, or they could be covered in a PVC covering, or depending on which job it is required for.
This really, the decoration department, is probably the last process of everything that we do at Quattro Display. In here, Mark and Steve would receive any completed items of stand build. They would come through from the production department, where all the carpenters, 8 different carpenters, are sending stuff through all day, every day, and they would have their own job bags, and they would know what colour to paint them, what job they were for, what finish needs to be on them. And then Mark, who works in the decoration department as well, we've got all the different paints which you can see behind me. They're all labelled up for all different clients. We mix all the paints to Pantone references, so all the different, just one colour, an orange, there's such an array of them. We have to do a Pantone mix with Dulux Trade Centre, so that's where we order all our paints from. Some finishes could be laminates. Laminates we have loads of swatches of, so again, with the client, we choose laminates together to make sure the client's happy with the colour that we're choosing. And then everything is laminated, painted, or a shellac, whatever render or colour the client wants, really.
Sometimes you get to go to a more exotic place, as in a couple of weeks' time we are going to Vegas, which will be nice, make a change from the NEC. I've made some peculiar shapes, yes, of 8-sided, 9-sided things, which are head swelling at times, but we certainly get them done eventually. All the panels we make here are hand finished, yes. This little bit of equipment is called a wall saw, cutting panelled material of up to, maybe we can cut up to 38mm with this saw, and keeping everything nice and square for us when we do cuts. As well as doing the horizontal cuts, we can do vertical cuts by just flipping that over, then locking it into a desired position.